Hey, do you see what I wrote on the board? Thank you. Oh, what am I thanking you for? Hey, some of you have informed me that you're still going to watch my videos. You're still going to do the work, even though you have like an A third 9 weeks, because you know this is going to help you for Mr. Cagle's class. So good for you. Keep watching, keep learning, keep making progress. I'm going to tell you, that made my day. Those texts, those email messages saying, hey, I'm still going to watch you. I'm still going to learn. Okay, so today, this week, we're going to learn the elimination method. All right, now, what they call elimination, I call the opposite method. Because that's basically what you do. You get opposites. You go, okay, could you refresh in my memory what an opposite is? Well, I sure can. So step this way with me. So opposites are like this. Positive 3x and negative 3x. They have different signs. And so the signs are different. So you're going to subtract, and when you do, you get 0. So 0 and still bring down your x. Well, what's 0 times anything? Back to 0. So you'll see as I work out these problems that I drop that off when I have opposites. All right, so here we go. Example 1. What have we been doing? We've been factoring, we've been completing the square, and now I've decided to do the elimination method for a few days, and then substitution, and then graphing. I know you're excited about that. Here we go. So, x plus 6 equal, I think I said that wrong, x plus y equals 6, and then x minus y equal 4. Now, notice what an elimination method looks like. Well, how many equations do we have? We have 2. How many variables do we have? We have 2. We have an x variable and we have a y variable. And that's what elimination method looks like most of the time. How do you work them? Well, you get opposites. Opposites on your x's or on your y's. It doesn't matter. Whichever variable is the easiest. Now today, let me let you in on something. Today, all the problems are already going to have a pair of opposites in them. Now, tomorrow it doesn't, but today it does. All right, so here we go. So are the x's opposites? No, they're both positive, so they can't be opposites. So let's look at our y's. Is our y's opposites? The answer is yes, they are. So that's the variable that you're going to use because they're already opposites. In other words, you get to skip a step. So they're already lined up, so now you're just going to add or subtract. How do you know when to add or subtract? You go by the rules. Same signs you add, different signs you subtract. So what is a 1x plus a 1x? Very good. 2x. What is a positive y minus y? Well, those are opposites, so they're going to give you 0. And I'm not going to write that down because that would be 0y. 0 times y is back to 0. Not going to write it down. Okay? So bring down my equal sign, and then 6 plus 4 is 10. Now, you know how to solve equations. You're the master at solving equations if you're in my class. So, you're going to divide by 2. You're going to divide by 2, and you get x equal 5. Okay, now this is what you found. You're done with the problem? No, you're not. You're not done. You're halfway there. You have found your X answer, and you know when we write a point, the X coordinate gets written down first, and then the Y. So the 5 goes right here, and now you have to find, this is your X coordinate, you have to find your Y coordinate. Now, anybody have any suggestions on how to find my Y coordinate? Very good. There's always somebody in our class that knows the answers every time I throw out a question. So yes, plug it in. Now, you're masters at plugging it in too. So you go, well, I know how to plug in, but which one do I use? Which equation? It doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll use equation 1, but then sometimes I'll use equation 2, just for the fun of it. So I'm going to rewrite that equation. Aha, there it is. And in place of X, I'm going to put my answer. 5 in place of X. So they have an X, replace it with 5. And then what are you going to do with the rest of the problem? Bring it down. So they have a plus, I have a plus. Bring down Y, because that's what we're trying to find the answer to. Equal 6. Solve for Y. What does that mean? Well, you know, keep your Y, keep your variable, and then your number is going to get moved to the other side. And when you move a number, remember that you have to change the sign. So that positive 5 is going to become a minus 5. So equals 6 minus 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. And this is how you write your final answer. This right here, this is the part that would get boxed in. Now, I'm going to tell you something, because some of you like to check your answers. You like to make sure you're right. And I always love that about a student. So you can check your answer. Every time you see X, plug in 5. And every time you see Y, plug in 1. And yeah, you would have to use it with both equations. I'll just show you one of them though. I'll use this one right here if you want to check your answer. X is still 5, Y is still 1, and bring down the 6. And get the left side down to one number. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 equal, and bring down that 6. And because you have a true statement, 6 equals 6 all the time, that's true, then you go, oh, that checked out. Okay, let's do example 2. I only have 2 examples today. You know I usually have at least 3. Aha. All right, so here we go. Example 2. So this one, 5x plus 4y equal 2. And negative 5x minus 2y equal 4. Now, again, we're starting something new. What's it called? Elimination method. What does Miss Cagle call it? I call it the opposite method, because that indicates your first step. You have to get opposites. And today, there are already a pair of opposites in your problem. Tomorrow, we will have to make it turn into opposites. So you don't want to miss that, now do you? What's the opposites? Look at your X's and then look at your Y's. Which pair are the opposites? Okay, your X's. So when I subtract opposites, 5 minus 5, it gives me 0x. And I'm not going to put it. It's easier if you just go, okay, it gives you 0 and don't write it down. Okay, so there's my 0. Keep going. Now my Y's. 4 minus 2 is 2y equal 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, now that leads you to your next step. Solve the equation. Solve for y. So you're going to divide by 2 is right. And you're going to get y equal 3. Now look, over here, I'm going to start my answer. The 3 goes second. Why? Well, because this is my x-coordinate and this is my y-coordinate. And just so happened, I found my y-coordinate first. Now, I got to go back and find x. How do I find x? Plug it in. Plug what in? The 3 that you just found. Where do you plug it in? It doesn't matter. Equation 1 or equation 2. I'm going to go with equation 2 only because the first example, I went with equation 1. So rewrite that equation. And every time you see y, you're going to plug in 3 right there. Okay, so negative 5x minus 2 parentheses 3 equal 4. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to solve that equation for x now. Why for x? Because that's the only variable you have that's left in the problem. So, you know, multiply numbers. So you're going to go negative 5x minus 6 equal 4. Now, keep your variables on the left. Numbers go to the right. Negative 5x equal 4 plus 6. Negative 5x equal 10. So I'm going to start over. Need a little bit of room. Negative 5x equal 10. Solve for x. Divide by negative 5. X equal, I'm going to cross cancel. Why? Because they look the same. And then 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. I would finish this out by doing this. This right here is my grand finale answer. Negative 2, 3 in parentheses. All right, that does it for today's lesson. Tomorrow, elimination part 2. Wednesday is elimination part 3. And then we'll see how you do with that. All right, I got you a worksheet made out. And here we go. So let's see here. Okay, so you know this is lesson 14. And today is the 20th. And there's my problems. And I'll give you time to pause it. So maybe you can write those 3 down. You notice they all have opposites. Now for the next few. So it looks like you got 6 elimination problems. Is that right? Oh, but there's more. You know how I love to review. So this is called odds and ends. So look, complete the square. And then it's negative 3x plus 6x minus 9. All right. And it gives you a hint that you need to divide by negative 3. Oh, a few factoring problems. 125y cubed minus 8. I give you a hint, it's a cube problem. Number 9, 3x squared minus 75. I give you a hint, do a GCF and then difference of squares. And then this last one, number 10, x squared minus 5x minus 50. Factor, skip factor. Okay, now listen. Hey, if you didn't get those problems because it was blurry or something, you know I'm still trying to learn all this technology stuff, then, hey, text me. I can send you a picture of all my worksheets. Why? Because I have them in my binder. Okay, guys, listen, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for still watching my videos.